Mr. Addington, thank you so much for speaking with the CSR Journal. At the outset, I'd like to understand about the kind of projects that have been involved at IACC here.
Right. Well, there's a couple things to say. I mean, in terms of USAID, we have a long history here going back even to the 1950s, but over the years the program has changed quite significantly.
Okay.
When I explain the program now, what we're involved in now, there's two ways I do it. One is I say in terms of sectors, we're involved in health in a significant way,
Okay.
in energy also, and we have some other programs, for example, in basic education and financial inclusion, in agriculture, in WASH, water and sanitation, which of
Okay.
course is also health related. That's the sort of the sector approach.
Okay.
It actually may not be the best way to look at what we do, because in addition to the sectors, it's the way we do things.
Okay.
And the way we do things very much emphasizes partnership, and very much emphasizes Indian institutions. And I should say that partnership sometimes is working out some of the CSR kinds of environment in India, which is very intriguing because it puts some of the private sector companies in the development space.
Correct.
And so, we're aware of that. We're aware of the changing terrain in India, and so we try to work with them. And we have certain kinds of partnerships that sometimes, builds on some of that corporate social responsibility, if you
So
will.
which are the various ways that you are taking up which sets you apart from the rest?
Well, I think there's a couple aspects of this. One is there's different ways that we engage. In some cases, it's directly, if you will, but there's other kinds of ways that we interact. For example, FICCI. I don't know
Yes.
if you're aware of it, but
Yes.
FICCI was their Millennium Challenge
Okay.
was something that basically the government of India, USAID, and FICCI came together. It's subsequently gotten bigger. It was started as a $7 million program.
Okay.
It's actually now a $25 million program
Okay.
with contributions not just from the original three, but with UK aid. From the World Bank and from other places, some private foundations as well have contributed. So that's an example where they focus on innovation, they focus on ideas from Indian institutions, sometimes in the private sector, and they have their own rolling throughout the year competitive grants program, if you will.
Okay.
There's other organizations. I mean, one that's in Mumbai here is DASRA, for example,
Yes,
that were
that's
one of the early supporters. And people may not always realize that that's one of our partnerships as well.
Okay.
And again, I think for many of the groups in India, their interface, their dialogue, if you will, might be with DASRA rather than AID. From our perspective, USAID, though, is part of that partnership because we have worked with DASRA.
Okay, so you spoke a lot about project investments. You spoke about various private corporates who are on board also. Could you tell me a little about the investment environment that is there for CSR, particularly in India after the mandate?
After the
2% mandate.
mandate, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that also drives our interest in the sector and our support for, because I should say that in many of the partnerships that we get involved in, it's not one-sided in the sense that aid is 100% funding it.
Okay.
Sometimes it's maybe a more modest part, but it does support some of the groups. And, we're aware of the fact that CSR has mobilized a lot of funding.
Okay.
And so you can have true partnerships where both sides put in, some measure of support. So again, if you look at the kinds of activities that we do, in fact, if you look at the aid program, which for us is around maybe $80 million a year, maybe a bit more some years, but we figure that for every dollar that we are involved in India, there's $4 coming in from other places.
Absolutely.
And many of those places are the result of CSR and the contributions made by the private sector, by private companies
Okay.
fulfilling their own
Okay.
sense of their CSR obligation.
So besides India and the US, what do you know about, what could you tell me? Could you tell me more about the projects that Indian organizations are taking up globally around, like Afghanistan, etc.?
Yeah, no, this is actually, I appreciate that you that you brought it up because you sort of said the distinctive part. Part of it is this sort of partnership and innovation within India, but part of it is this notion that the Indian development experience is relevant elsewhere.
Absolutely.
So again, I often tell people that I came, must have been almost a year ago, and during that time, we've made sort of connections. So a group of women dairy farmers, if you will, from Kenya.
Okay.
There's been groups of Afghans in the medical field, in the financial inclusion field, in the food safety field that have come through. There's been Uzbek horticulturalists. I've met engineers from Bhutan and from Nepal.
Okay.
These are all examples of of people outside of India feeling that the Indian experience is relevant and trying to learn from it. Although I will say that any kind of partnership, it goes in both directions, and I think sometimes India can learn as well. But a couple examples of that is that another one I often mention because people will be familiar is SEWA, Self-Employed Women's Association, one of the largest NGOs in India, in the world, in fact. And they have many partnerships, but one of the partnerships that we have is a partnership in which Afghan women come to Gujarat, come to SEWA, and are trained in sort of the women's empowerment, women's skills that SEWA does well, and they go back to Afghanistan and train others. When you have something like this, you draw on some of the institutions in India that can offer something. So I think it was the first event I went to when I came here, was a group of about 20 power engineers from all the countries, almost all the countries in South Asia, were being trained at an Indian institution. And again, an example of using the institutions of India in a bigger way. And I think that's positive. I think that there is a recognition that obviously any country can learn from other countries, including India, but India too has something to offer to other countries.
Absolutely.
And so that's something that we try to be a good partner on and be a facilitator and be a catalyst for, and really very consciously believe that the Indian experience is relevant elsewhere.
Okay, CSR is known by various names all over the world. I think abroad in the US you have it as creating sharing value also.
Yeah.
Tell me, how do you think India stands out distinctly as compared to the other countries globally?
Well, I mean, I've served in many countries, and this is probably more visible in India, and I think the fact that there's this law, this 2%,
That's right.
that I think gives it that kind of visibility.
So you don't see that elsewhere, you don't see that as a mandate. How do things work out otherwise
Yeah,
globally?
yeah. I'll be honest, I don't want to pretend I know more than I know. It's just that in terms of my experience, I've served in about 10 countries, and it's more it's more explicit here. It's more deliberate, if you will. And it could be that over time, this is one of the areas too where India has something to offer other countries. I guess I would say that I think it's still relatively recent in India, and they're also, forming their own views. And what happens in anything is you find out, you have the lessons learned, and then that informs your next steps. But I think it's a very interesting, development in India. I think because of the sheer size of India, 2% of profits. Well, that's still, I guess I learned today, I forget how many billions of dollars it was, because everything in India, the demographics, the size is huge. So it has an impact, but it's very intriguing because it is able to, to mobilize. I mean, my understanding is that in the initial phases, it's oftentimes health and education are two areas of special interest. But I think over time in India, they're also looking into other areas too. And again, I think that hard-earned experience will be relevant elsewhere.
Okay. Could you tell me very briefly what CSR is to you?
Well, I mean, CRC. I mean, it's sort of one of those things that it depends on, which part of the elephant you're touching. And I think that the corporations look at it in one way, the government probably looks at it in one way, the donors look at it another way. Various perspectives. But I think ultimately, it is this view that, successful corporations, there's the commercial aspect to it, but there's also the notion that, people do need to support the communities in which they work, and they do need to reach out. And I think that this is the way that they look upon that. I do think that again, governments have certain strengths, private sector has certain strengths. I think it's a way to apply some of the private sector strengths into a development kind of context. And so, I mean, I guess in that sense, I certainly do take a positive take. And again, India has made it, part of the law, I guess.
Yes, that's right.
I will say, though, that in the long history of India, the corporate responsibility didn't start with this.
Okay. There was always philanthropy.
There was philanthropy. I mean, if you look back in the 19th century, if you look back at other kinds of places, there are, just like there in Europe and the United States, in India too, there are well-known philanthropists that, again, oftentimes it was education and health that are deemed to be, and they are, essential sort of human sectors, and people contribute and they leave a legacy there. But I think it's, building on that. But I think that, again, what's happening with the CSR in India is interesting, is relevant, and may have some wider lessons learned as well.
Okay. Mr. Addington, thank you so much for throwing light on the various ways of working.
Okay.
We're really glad you could speak to the CSR Journal.
Okay. No, thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you very much.